Are you a morning person or a night owl? Do you speak your mind or keep things to yourself until you're sure?
Today we're talking about something everyone has an opinion on: personality. How to describe your own, how to describe someone else's, and all the natural English expressions people use to do it.
And right after this conversation, we're breaking down every single expression. So stick around, because there's a lot here you're going to want to actually use.
Let's get into it.
Hey everyone, welcome back to English and Other Words, the podcast where we help you sound more natural in English, one real conversation at a time. I'm Emma.
And I'm Dylan. Quick reminder on how this works. First, a natural conversation between me and Emma. Don't stress about catching every word.
Then, right in this same video, we'll break down everything you heard so you can actually use these expressions yourself.
Today's topic: talking about personality. Let's get into it.
So I took one of those online personality tests last night, out of pure boredom.
Oh no! Which one? There's like 100 different versions of those.
The one that sorts you into different types based on how you think and interact with people. Apparently, I'm a total people person, according to the results.
Haha, that tracks. You do seem to genuinely enjoy being around people.
I really do. I think I get that from my mom. Actually, she's the same way. I definitely take after her in that sense.
That makes sense. Personality traits like that do seem to run in families sometimes.
What about you? Are you more of a people person, or do you lean more introverted?
A bit of both, depending on the situation. At work, I can be pretty outgoing, but outside of that, I definitely keep to myself more than people expect.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that about you.
Yeah, most people are surprised. I think I just save my energy for the people I'm actually close with.
That makes sense. Would you say you're more laid back or more particular about things?
Pretty laid back, most of the time. Not much really rattles me. Although, I will admit, I'm a total creature of habit when it comes to my morning routine specifically.
Oh, how so?
Same coffee, same breakfast, same walk, every single day. If something disrupts that, it throws off my whole morning.
Haha, that's such a specific thing to be particular about.
I know, it's weird, but it's just how I am. What about you? Are you more of a planner, or do you like flying by the seat of your pants?
Definitely more of a planner, though I try not to be too set in my ways about it. I like having a rough plan, but I can adjust if something changes.
That's a good balance. Some people get really thrown off if their plan changes even slightly.
Oh, for sure. I used to be way more rigid about it, but I've loosened up a lot over the years.
That's good to hear. That kind of flexibility comes with time for a lot of people.
It really does. Speaking of personality, have you noticed how differently people describe you depending on who you ask?
Oh, completely. My coworkers would probably describe me as pretty level headed, someone who doesn't get flustered easily.
That tracks with what I've seen too, actually.
But my sisters would probably say, I'm the life of the party at family gatherings, which is a totally different side of me.
Ha, that's funny. Those do sound like different people almost.
Right? I think everyone's like that, though. We just show different sides depending on the context.
Definitely. I feel like with close friends, I speak my mind a lot more than I do in professional settings.
That's fair. Most people filter themselves more at work.
Right, though I do have a friend who says precisely what she thinks no matter the setting. She just wears her heart on her sleeve constantly.
Oh, I know the type. I kind of admire that, even if it gets her into trouble sometimes.
It really does. But people also respect her for it, because you always know where you stand with her.
That's a good trait to have, even if it comes with some friction occasionally.
Definitely. Speaking of friction, do you have anyone in your life whose personality just rubs you the wrong way?
There's definitely a coworker who comes to mind. Nothing serious, just a certain way he talks over people in meetings that gets under my skin a little.
Oh, that's such a common one. Have you said anything to him about it?
Not directly, no. I think it's more just a personality clash than anything actually wrong with how he acts.
That makes sense. Sometimes it really is just two different personality styles that don't mesh perfectly.
Right. Doesn't mean either person's wrong, just different.
True. On the flip side, is there anyone whose personality just grew on you over time? Like you didn't love them at first, but now you do.
Actually, yeah, my roommate from college, funny enough. We didn't get along great at first. Completely different personalities.
Oh, really? What changed?
I think once I got past the surface stuff, I realized he's actually got a heart of gold. Always the first person to help anyone move, or drive someone to the airport at 5 in the morning.
That's really sweet, actually. It's funny how first impressions don't always tell the full story.
They really don't. Now he's one of my closest friends, even though our personalities are still pretty different.
That's such a nice example of that. What about family? Would you say your personality is similar to your parents? Or pretty different?
Bit of a mix. My dad's incredibly down to earth, never really impressed by status or money, and I think I got that from him.
That's a great trait to inherit.
I think so too. But my mom's more of a free spirit, always up for something spontaneous, and I definitely didn't get that gene.
Huh, interesting. So you're a mix of grounded and structured then.
Pretty much. What about your family? Are you similar to your parents personality wise?
My dad and I are basically night and day. He's incredibly quiet and reserved, whereas I'm clearly not.
Haha, that's a big contrast.
It really is. My mom's more like me, though. Very social. Very much a people person, like we said earlier.
That makes sense then. Sounds like you take after her more directly.
Definitely do. Do you think personality is mostly something you're born with? Or something that develops over time?
Probably a mix of both. I think the core of who you are is pretty consistent, but how it shows up definitely changes as you get older.
I agree with that. I think I'm still very much a work in progress in a lot of ways, even at this point in my life.
Same. I don't think anyone ever fully finishes figuring themselves out.
That's probably true. Do you feel like you've gotten more sensitive over the years? Or more thick skinned?
Definitely more thick skinned, for sure. Things that used to really bother me barely register anymore.
That's healthy. I feel like I've gone the opposite direction a little. I take things more personally than I used to, weirdly.
That's interesting. I wonder what changes that for people.
No idea. Probably just different life experiences shaping things differently for each person.
That makes sense. Do you think you're a pretty easy person to read, or more of a mystery to people?
Huh. Probably pretty easy to read. I've been told I wear my emotions on my face constantly.
Haha, same actually. My sisters always know what kind of day I'm having the second I walk in the door.
That's funny. No poker face at all then.
None whatsoever. Speaking of personality clashes, do you think personality matters a lot when it comes to dating, or is it more about shared interests?
Oh, personality for sure. I've dated people I had a ton in common with on paper, but the personalities just didn't mesh at all.
Yeah, that tracks. What kind of personality do you tend to get along with best?
Probably someone a little more laid back than me, honestly, since I can get a bit intense about planning things. Someone who balances that out is usually a good match.
That makes sense. Opposites, balancing each other out a bit.
Right, though not too opposite. Or it just becomes frustrating instead of complementary.
Fair point. I think for me, I need someone who's pretty patient, since I can get stuck in my head sometimes and take a while to open up.
That's a good thing to know about yourself. Self awareness like that goes a long way.
I think so too. Took me a while to figure that out though.
Most people do. It's not exactly something you're born knowing. Speaking of pet peeves, is there a specific personality trait in other people that just drives you up the wall?
Oh, definitely. People who interrupt constantly. Doesn't even have to be rude about it, just the habit itself gets to me.
Huh, that's a really common one, actually. Mine's probably people who never admit when they're wrong about something.
Oh, that's a good one too. Someone who just doubles down, no matter what.
Exactly that. It's not even about being right, it's just the refusal to ever consider they might not be.
That's fair. That kind of stubbornness is a lot to deal with over time.
It really is. Do you think a big life event can actually change someone's personality? Or does the core stay the same?
That's a good question. I think something like that can definitely shift how someone shows up in the world, even if the core stays similar.
Like what, for example?
My cousin went through a pretty rough breakup a few years back, and she came out the other side way more independent. Still, the same warm person, just noticeably more self reliant now.
That's a really good example, actually. It's like the personality's still there, just expressed differently after something like that.
Exactly. The foundation stays, but the way it shows up can shift a lot.
That makes a lot of sense. Speaking of which, do you think I should actually put much stock in that test I took last night? Or was it just for fun?
Probably just for fun, honestly. I don't usually take those results too seriously myself, but I do think there's something to noticing patterns in how you naturally react to things.
That's fair. I feel the same way about stuff like astrology. Honestly, I don't fully believe in it, but I still read my horoscope sometimes, just for fun.
Haha, same. It's more entertainment than anything for me. Though I'll admit, sometimes the description hits a little too accurately.
Right? It's probably just vague enough that it applies to everyone, but it still feels oddly specific sometimes.
Right. That's probably the trick behind all of it.
Probably. Either way, it's fun to think about, even if it's not exactly scientific.
Agreed. All right, one more before we wrap the conversation part. Do you think people can actually change their core personality or just how they express it?
That's such a good question to end on. I think the core stays pretty stable, but people absolutely can change habits and how they show up day to day.
I agree with that. I think that's actually kind of comforting, knowing you're not stuck being exactly who you were at 20 forever.
Definitely. There's room to grow without having to become a totally different person.
Well said. What about someone like an old soul? Do you know anyone like that? Someone who just seems way more mature or wise than their actual age?
Oh, definitely. My younger cousin is like that. 22 years old, but talks like she's lived 3 lifetimes already.
Ha! That's a great way to put it. I feel like everyone knows someone like that.
Totally. Okay, now for real. Last question. If you had to describe your own personality in just a few words, what would you say?
Probably laid back, loyal, and a bit of a creature of habit, if I'm being honest with myself.
That's a pretty accurate summary, actually, based on this whole conversation.
Haha, I think so too. What about you?
Probably a people person, a work in progress, and stubborn enough to still call myself a planner, even though I've loosened up a lot.
That's a great way to sum it up. This was a fun one, way more interesting than I expected talking about personality would be.
Same. It's kind of nice to reflect on this stuff out loud sometimes.
Agreed. All right, should we get into the breakdown?
Let's do it. Okay, that's the full conversation. Now let's break down everything you just heard. Every expression, one by one, with an extra example for each, so you can start using them yourself.
Let's get into it.
1. A people person, I said. Apparently, I'm a total people person, according to the results. This describes someone who genuinely enjoys being around others and interacting socially. Example: she's such a people person. She makes friends everywhere she goes.
Here's another way to use it. He's a total people person. He never turns down a chance to meet someone new.
2. Take after someone, I said. I definitely take after her in that sense. This means resembling a family member, usually a parent, in appearance or personality. Example: he really takes after his dad when it comes to humor.
Another example. She takes after her grandmother, always the calm one in a crisis.
3. Keep to yourself, Dylan said. I definitely keep to myself more than people expect. This means staying private or reserved, not socializing much, especially compared to others. Example: he's pretty quiet. He mostly keeps to himself at work.
Here's another way to use it. New to the city, she kept to herself for the first few months.
4. Laid back, Dylan said. Pretty laid back most of the time. This describes someone relaxed and easygoing, not easily stressed or bothered. Example: he's super laid back. Nothing really seems to stress him out.
Another example. Our new manager is really laid back compared to the last one.
5. A creature of habit, Dylan said. I'm a total creature of habit when it comes to my morning routine. This describes someone who strongly prefers routine and consistency, doing the same things the same way repeatedly. Example: I'm a creature of habit. I order the exact same thing every time.
Here's another way to use it. My dad's such a creature of habit. He sat in the same chair for 20 years.
6. Set in your ways, I said. I try not to be too set in my ways about it. This means being resistant to change, especially in habits or opinions, often associated with rigidity. Example: my grandfather's pretty set in his ways about how things should be done.
Another example. He's gotten more set in his ways as he's gotten older.
7. Level-headed, Dylan said. My coworkers would probably describe me as pretty level-headed. This describes someone calm and rational, especially under pressure, not easily flustered. Example: she stayed level-headed even when everything was going wrong.
Here's another way to use it. You need someone level headed to make that decision, not someone panicking.
8. The life of the party, Dylan said. My sisters would probably say I'm the life of the party at family gatherings. This describes someone lively, entertaining, and often the center of attention at social events. Example: he's always the life of the party. Everyone loves having him around.
Another example. She's usually pretty quiet, but at weddings, she becomes the total life of the party.
9. Speak your mind, I said. I speak my mind a lot more than I do in professional settings. This means expressing your honest opinions openly, without holding back. Example: she's never afraid to speak her mind, even in front of her boss.
Here's another way to use it. He finally spoke his mind about the schedule during the meeting.
10. Wear your heart on your sleeve, I said. She just wears her heart on her sleeve constantly. This describes someone who openly shows their emotions without hiding how they feel. Example: he wears his heart on his sleeve. You always know exactly how he's feeling.
Another example. She's always worn her heart on her sleeve, even as a kid.
11. Rub someone the wrong way, I asked. Do you have anyone in your life whose personality just rubs you the wrong way? This means to irritate or annoy someone, often without meaning to, simply through personality or manner. Example: something about his tone just rubs me the wrong way.
Here's another way to use it. I don't know what it is, but her constant interrupting rubs me the wrong way.
12. Grow on someone, I said. Is there anyone whose personality just grew on you over time? This means gradually becoming more likable to someone, even if the first impression wasn't great. Example: I didn't like the song at first, but it really grew on me.
Another example. He seemed a little intense at first, but he definitely grew on me.
13. A heart of gold, Dylan said. He's actually got a heart of gold. This describes someone who is deeply kind and generous, even if it's not obvious at first glance. Example: she seems tough, but she's got a heart of gold underneath it all.
Here's another way to use it. Despite the gruff exterior, he's got a heart of gold.
14. Down to earth, Dylan said. My dad's incredibly down to earth, never really impressed by status or money. This describes someone humble, practical, and genuine, without pretension. Example: even after becoming famous, she stayed really down to earth.
Another example, he's surprisingly down to earth for someone in his position.
15. A free spirit, Dylan said. My mom's more of a free spirit, always up for something spontaneous. This describes someone independent and unconventional who lives spontaneously without worrying much about rules or expectations. Example: she's such a free spirit. She booked a one-way ticket with no real plan.
Here's another way to use it. He's always been a free spirit, never one to stick to a strict schedule.
16. A work in progress, I said. I'm still very much a work in progress in a lot of ways. This describes someone, or something, still developing and improving, not yet finished. Example: I'm definitely still a work in progress when it comes to patience.
Another example, the whole team's a work in progress, but we're getting better every month.
17. Thick-skinned, Dylan said. Definitely more thick-skinned, for sure. This describes someone who isn't easily hurt or offended by criticism. Example: you need to be pretty thick-skinned to work in that industry.
Here's another way to use it. Years of feedback have made her a lot more thick skinned.
18. Take things personally, I said. I take things more personally than I used to, weirdly. This means to feel offended or hurt by something, even if it wasn't necessarily meant that way. Example: try not to take it personally. It's not about you.
Another example, he used to take feedback really personally, but he's gotten better about it.
19. Wear your emotions on your face, I said. I've been told I wear my emotions on my face constantly. This means having an expressive face that clearly shows how you feel, without meaning to. Example: you can always tell how his day went. He wears his emotions on his face.
Here's another way to use it. She's impossible to read at cards, but at home, she wears her emotions on her face completely.
20. No poker face, I said. No poker face at all, then. This describes someone who can't hide their emotions or reactions, the opposite of someone unreadable. Example: don't play cards with him. He has no poker face at all.
Another example, she has absolutely no poker face when she's lying.
21. An old soul, I said. My younger cousin is like that. Expression: an old soul. This describes someone who seems unusually mature, wise, or reflective for their age. Example: he's always been an old soul, even as a little kid.
Here's another way to use it. She's such an old soul, she'd rather read than go to a party.
22. Sum something up, I said. That's a pretty accurate summary, actually. Dylan said, that's a great way to sum it up. This means to briefly describe or summarize something, capturing the main idea. Example: to sum it up, it was a stressful but rewarding week.
Another example, if I had to sum up my personality in one word, it'd probably be curious.
All right, quick rapid-fire quiz before we wrap up. I'll give a mini definition, you guess the expression. Ready?
Ready. Hit me.
Number 1. Someone who genuinely enjoys being around others.
A people person.
Nice. Number 2. Resembling a parent in personality or appearance.
Take after someone.
Number 3. Someone deeply kind and generous underneath.
A heart of gold.
And last one, gradually becoming more likable over time.
Grow on someone. Did I get them all?
4 for 4. Impressive. All right, that's it for this one. The full conversation and the full breakdown, all in one place.
If you want to actually lock these in, try picking 2 or 3 and using them to describe yourself or someone you know today.
Thanks so much for watching.
If you want more of these, subscribe. New real conversations every week.
Hope to see you next episode. Bye, everyone.
Bye.